lots of things happen in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm not going to lie, this one was one of the ones I was excited for. So, Cybernetic Horizon Case Tournament, 73 players. This deck got 3rd place. Now you're probably thinking, oh my god, I should probably run out and buy my copies of Loose End because it doesn't have a reprint. Calm down. This is more or less a localized event, but I wanted to showcase this list to kind of get your feet wet and prove that Dangers actually do have a chance in the meta, besides being a oversized paperweight. Now, for those of you that don't know, this deck's strength comes from cards like Danger Zone, drawing 3 cards and then discarding 2 cards, including at least 1 danger card, which is pretty good, which allows you to basically trigger the effects of these cards on your opponent's turn. Bigfoot here being able to destroy a card. We have El Chupacabra over here being able to revive, Nessie for searching, and El Jackalope over here special summon 1 danger monster from your deck. So I mean, you've got a lot of versatility cooking here across all the monsters, but your main combo is going to come from El Bigfooterino himself, being able to destroy that key card on your opponent's turn. Like I've said this in a lot of my videos, I think the main reason why this deck is going to be good is because of this mechanic. You know, we've seen in the past that decks that have the ability to play the game on the opponent's turn statistically usually do better. I mean, you can double it up even harder for 2 destructions off of things like Grappa and so forth. So there's a lot of things going on with this deck, and for this deck to get 3rd place at a 73-man event, it's no real shocker to me, because honestly, the synergy and the things that this deck has going with it, with the Dark World engine, I'm actually ecstatic for it. And I know a lot of people have probably been trying to look away from the Dark World engine, whether or not just they found it not popular or a bit conflicting with their strategy. But I think seeing the Dark World engine with this right now, it's probably the best way to go about it. Droll Lockbird probably was one of the main reasons why this deck might not have had success, kind of struggling around the way. It kind of sucks if you get drolled in this deck, because the whole deck wants to consistently use its resources to draw. But it's fine, because sometimes you don't get the ability to do that. So, you know, Droll Lockbird, a very well-timed Ash Blossom, can kind of shut down your day. I don't think people, at least in the first couple weeks, are going to know how to really play against this deck. So give it some time, let people adapt, and things like that. But this is the 3rd place Danger Darkworld list from this 73-man case tournament. 3 copies of Brown, being able to draw a card. Once again, these self-replacement effects that we've kind of talked about, that we know and love, this truly works out to our advantage. Every 1-for-1 that we can generate in this deck, you know, is going to be fantastic. 3 copies of Bigfoot. So all these all have the effect of reveal to your opponent. Your opponent randomly chooses a card from your hand, discards it. If you discard a card not named Bigfoot, you get to special summon this guy from your hand, and if you do, draw a card. And if this guy gets discarded, you target 1 face card your opponent controls and destroy it. And of course, you can only apply 1 Danger Bigfoot effect per turn. So they did try to limit these to some degree, and I don't absolutely blame them for doing it this way. I think some of these effects, had they been able to be multi-trigger, we might have had some actual problems in the game. 3 copies of El Chupacabra over here. This is the one that if this card is discarding, target 1 danger monster in your graveyard except for Chupacabra and special summon it. On top of, when it special summons itself, draw a card. Hey, more self-replacement effects. Am I right? We have 3 copies of Nessie. Same thing, reveal it. If it's discarded, you get to do the adding of the 1 danger card from the deck to the hand. So, I mean, you have a built-in recruiter. I mean, this whole archetype, like, for these being the first of the support cards, these aren't bad. And then 3 copies of the little Jackalope. Special summon 1 danger monster from your deck in defense mode, except for Jackalope. Honestly, they did a very nice job here with these effects, and I love them. So I can't wait to see what else they do. 3 copies of Graph, Recurable Boss Monster, being able to pop cards from your opponent's hand. Like, this card's pretty good. Triple copies of Lucent Netherworld of the Dark World. So if this card is discarded to the graveyard by a card effect, you get special summon this card from the graveyard. Then if this was discarded from your hand to your graveyard by your opponent's card effect, You get to special summon one Fiend monster from your deck to either side of the field. Just a rather large special summonable target. Honestly, you could probably play some shit like Beige over this for the most part, but just kind of something to consider. And then 3 copies of El Snow, the Unlight. Once again, this will be able to let you search for your field spell, which is kind of the key of the deck, you know what I mean. Spell cards, triple Allure of Darkness. I mean, let's be real here, everything in this deck is dark, so you have no real reason not to be using Allure. Honestly, the turbo ability that this card grants to you, if you look at this whole deck is just draw, go, draw, go, draw, go. You know, if anything happens along the way, well, you don't really give a fuck, you know. It's like, cool, you've stunted my play for the turn, that's fine. Triple copies of Called by the Grave. Honestly, Ash Blossom and Droll and Lockbird, like I said, are probably going to be your most troublesome cards in the TCG. You know, take care of those threats. I know a lot of people are a little bit more against playing cards like these in the main deck. That's fine, but for the most part, they're still good. Now, we have 2 copies of Pinpoint Landing in the deck. And before you're like, oh, this card is terrible, if exactly 1 monster special summons from your hand to your field, you can draw a card. That's all we care about. Like, it kind of sucks if you draw Pinpoint Landing with Pinpoint Landing, but we're not maxing out on this card. This is going to be a card that a lot of people are going to play in less numbers because of how good it is. If you get past turn 1 with this card becomes an inherent plus. It's just a better upstart goblin that is continuous that we can now take advantage of. I repeat, a better upstart goblin in some cases. So it only kind of sucks that if you special summon more than 1 monster in the realm of things, but if you only special summon the 1, you get to draw a card. Triple Gates of the Dark World. Honestly, the field spell for Danger kind of sucks, so you get to take advantage of this bad boy. So definitely a lot of draw power here that you'll be able to harness. Also, you can discard Chupacabra with this because he's a fiend and he fits the bill. We also have 2 copies of Trade-In, discarding these rather large boss monsters if you tend to draw into them, just to kind of make sure that you can continue filtering through the deck. Seems really good. And then triple copies of Danger Zone, because no real reason not to be playing this card. I think this card's insane. The extra deck here, 1 Ningirsu for spot removal, Kieran or Unicorn for more spot removal, Phoenix for back row removal, Mermaid for power downs, Cerberus for monster removal, Borrelsword because this card is actually nuts. 2 copies of Apprentice Witchling. I think a lot of people are going to start playing this card a lot more. The 500 boost is actually pretty good. And then if it's a Robobella card effect, you get to target a dark in your graveyard and recur it back. So, I mean, you have access to literally any monster that you play. So, you know, consider it what you will. There's a lot of value here. We have 1 copy of Tornado Dragon, 1 Red Ice Flare Metal Dragon, 1 Galaxy Lord, Photon Lord. Interesting note that you can make this guy, but don't really care about that. Hope Harbinger for Spell Negation, Big Eye to steal monsters, Cypher Dragon to steal more monsters, and Cypher Blade Dragon to overlay on top of a Galaxy Eye Succeeds monster. So you can literally just go into Cypher Dragon, steal something, it's an Exceeds, you know. You're not going to do much with it, but hey, you know, we're overlaying this on top of this guy, so more fun stuff than not here. On the side deck, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki. I honestly, when I look at this deck, I really want to go second with it. I don't know if that's the correct mode or not, but when I look at this, I'm like, well, I just want to start breaking your board with ridiculous card effects. And I think that's kind of the way it goes. I mean, you build your board turn 1, I mean, your opponent has a very very big chance to break it. So I think cards like this solidify going second. I can respect that. Like, they're such good power cards for what they are. Triple copies of Twin Twister, breaking back row is good. Evenly matched for more of that going second mentality. 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 2 Magic Deflectors, and triple Mind Crush to get rid of those pesky Trickstar Sky Striker matchups. So, this is the first look. This is the first competitive Danger Darkworld deck that we've had. I think it goes to show that this deck does have some sort of potential. I think give it some time. We'll see how it goes. And for the most part, I mean, I would not be surprised in the near future that these cards end up going up more than their already respected values. Just because drawing self-replacement effects are good. And it just takes a little bit of time for people to want to buy into the hype, because people don't want to spend the money, and I understand that. But be aware, they are here, and it might be a bad time. Short printing cards is Konami's way of saying, we love you too. So that's the deck profile, guys. Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'm out. Peace. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. I will be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.